Okay, hello, there's a problem. I'm getting a lot of dropped frames, so stick around, okay? I need to, fix this. Otherwise, things are not gonna go very well, so, yeah. Fuck. Well, I can't figure these issues out now. Let me save. All right, I'm going to disconnect, guys. Stick around, please. I want to try and disconnect because I immediately got dropped frames from the get-go. And, yeah, maybe restart will help. Be right back. Okay, and we're live. And there's no drop frames at the moment, so let's cross our fingers. So, hello, everybody. How y'all doing today? I am the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher call-in show. I'm sorry for it being late again. You know, sometimes once I start it, it's getting dropped frames. I've got to restart it and try and figure out the problem. I'm still working out the bugs. I've got it mostly working, but still a little fine-tuning to do, not to mention the internet connection isn't so great where I am. So if you're going to be a regular viewer, please keep in mind, might start 5 minutes or so late. I try to get it started on time, but some nights, I get home very late, and, you know, I can barely get it started on time. You know, but at worst, it's going to be 5 minutes late. Tonight, it was because of technical difficulties, which now seem to be fixed. All right, so if you're just tuning in, and if you've never been here before, this show airs Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. New York City time. If you don't know what that is in your part of the world, just Google it, and you'll know. Also, in the future, I'm going to try to remember to reschedule each next stream. So all you have to do is come back to this particular page, this particular address, and there should be a countdown timer telling you exactly when the next will start. The next live stream, that is. So hopefully you'll find that helpful. Don't mind me if I belch a bit during this because I got something to eat real quick, a little greasy, and I've got coffee here. It gives me gas. So tonight, what I would like to talk about is red flags, baby. So, yeah, as a philosopher, reality interests me, truth interests me, the truth about so many different things, anything, everything. Truth is truth, and I love truth. Now, the truth about women and what kind of red flags you need to look for, I think is very important, especially if you're a man. Not so important to you if you're a wayman, unless, of course, you actually care about finding a good man and not broadcasting red flags erroneously. Of course, if you're broadcasting them, they're probably accurate representations of what he should avoid, but sometimes not. But regardless, women don't care about that kind of stuff, so, you know. But you men, you should care. You should really, really care. You need to know what to avoid, what things, if they happen, you should go, take a double take, do a double take, and run like hell, and hope that she can't run real fast, too. Maybe she's wearing heels, so you're in luck. They don't run too good in heels. Heels which evil men have made her wear. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's plenty of shoes out there you could have bought, honey, but for some reason you felt the need to buy heels, and then you blame men for the fact that you have to wear them, when you really don't have to wear them. You can wear flats, but they want to be taller. Well, don't blame me. Of course, they blame men for everything, right? So anyway, I have a long list of red flags here that I have learned are things that should make me run the other way if I run into them in a woman. Just one of them is enough to make me want to get the hell out of there. Excuse me. I also have a cold. But I'm still doing this live stream for you. So you should appreciate my efforts by donating to my channel. Go to therealistphilosopher.com/donate. I get zero monetization from YouTube. So, yeah, it's fully supported, funded by you, my fans. So if you'd like to become a fan and gain all of the myriad rewards that come with that, please go to therealistphilosopher.com/donate. That's therealistphilosopher.com/donate. Oh. Good Lord. I'm a mess. All right. So there's quite a few here. I'm going to try to get through them as quickly as possible. The phone lines are not open. So if you're trying to call in now or Skype me, you're wasting your time. Because when I do these kind of shows, how it works, if I do a subject show, about halfway through, I'll open the phone lines, all right? But I want to get done, the subject I want to discuss first. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Too much gas. All right, anyway. So, let's begin with number one. Now, some of these will apply to having already been dating the woman for a while, and I will essentially go into more detail about those. I will, preface those with, okay, this is one that maybe you are in a relationship instead of going out on a first date or something. Because there are times you can encounter red flags. I mean, they don't have to just be at the beginning of the relationship, right? Maybe she's very good at hiding the truth about herself, but something slips through once you've been dating for a while. Now, most of these are not for marriage. I don't think really any of these apply to marriage, right? That would be a whole different list of red flags. But I'm sorry, if you've reached the point of marriage, red flags are not going to help you, okay? And you can't get out without giving up half your shit. The whole point of this list of red flags is to stop you from getting into that life-altering, possibly a death-bringing situation because you blow your fucking head off because she takes your kids, your house, your dog, all your money, and you end up one of those 87% of suicides that are men. You end up one of those poor bastards, all right? So you don't want that to happen. So, yes, I'm here to help you stop. I'm here to make sure you don't become one of those 87% of suicides that are men. Yeah, but we're privileged. Yeah, if we're so privileged, why are we killing ourselves so much? If life's so good for us, why are we blowing our fucking heads off? But I guess that's another video entirely. All right, so number one. If you go out with a broad, now, granted, this is a pretty typical one. I mean, you'll hear this most of the time. What do you do for a living? But I'm always a little leery about this one. Now, it's not necessarily a game changer, right? Or a game ender, as it were. I think it's more important when it comes in the date. Like if her very first question to you is your job, I look at her demeanor. I listen to the tone of her voice. And I'm skeptical. I look at her body language. I look to see just how interested she is in the question. Of course, if she's a clever girl, she'll be looking down at her food and be like, just asked it in a casual way. But I'm always leery and skeptical. So that's kind of like maybe a red flag, maybe not, because, yeah, this is a question that's pretty commonplace. But I'll tell you what, the reason women ask it always, almost always, is to know how much money you make. Because if you say you're like an engineer or biochemist, she's got this little, calculator in her head doing all these calculations. And they're not great at math, but when it comes to figuring out how much money you make, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. So, yeah. Be wary if you hear that question. That puts me on guard, okay? So if you hear that question, it's not necessarily a game ender, but be on guard after that. Of course, I'm always on guard anyway. Nobody's getting anything past me. All right. Number two. She asked you what kind of car you drive. Okay, you're gone. Get the fuck out. There ain't no reason she needs to ask what kind of car you drive, okay? Big fat zero reason. What does she need to ask what kind of car you drive? And by the way, you could live in a city. You could have no car. Lots of people who live in New York City have no cars, have no need of a car. What the fuck you need a car for in New York City? So you can sit in traffic for 2 hours. Meanwhile, everybody else is taking the fucking metro, although I don't know how safe that is. I've been on the New York subway before. Some sketchy characters there. But, yeah, you don't really need a car. You got buses, you got trains, you got taxis, you got fucking subways. I mean, But if she asked this question, as if assuming that you have a car, she wants to know how much money you have. I mean, you drive a fucking Yugo or a Geo, and she looks up like this. Just look for the little turn of the lip that shows displeasure. That's not little, of course. That's pretty obvious, and some women will do that. But if she goes like, oh, okay, very, very fuel efficient, yeah. And then asks you no more questions, that's it. Check, please. No, oh, where's the bathroom? And then you leave her with the fucking check. So number 3. Okay, so next. She asked where you live, all right? So if you all live in the same area, and essentially she knows, like, where, if you live in a city, if wherever you live, if you're familiar with it, you're going to know where the rich areas are and where the poor areas are. Absolutely no reason for her to ask where you live, right? Now, again, of course, this is not a game ender. She could just be genuinely curious, making small talk. But usually when a woman asks this, she wants to know if you live in the rich part of town. If you say you live in Trump Tower, it's like, ooh, watch your face. If you live in a nice area and her eyes go like, oh, she realized that you live in a nice, rich area and she's happy. Women are emotional creatures. They're not very good at hiding their emotions, so there will be little micro expressions, and they won't be so micro. If you pay attention, you'll catch them. All right, so number 5, next. Expecting you to pay for dinner. Yeah. This one I find annoying because she's supposed to be equal, right? Women are supposed to be equal to you. See, we're not living in Leave It to Beaver land. You know, the days of June Ward Cleaver complimenting each other are over, all right? The days of her acting like a real woman, not cursing, not belching like me. Walking around in ratty-ass slippers and a fucking nightgown all day with curlers in her fucking hair if she even cares that much to try and make herself look presentable at some point. You know, that's the way women are these days. Yeah. Come on. I mean, you should pay for dinner. Why? Because I have the vagina? It's not a reason. If a woman expects you to pay for dinner, that's the first and last time you should go out with her, okay? I mean, she likes double standards. She's a feminist. Don't believe the nonsense, by the way, that feminists are somehow for equality. They're not. They're for female superiority, so... God. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this show as sick as I am, but you know what? I am fucking dedicated. I think I missed a day of work in 8 years for one sick day in 8 years, so yeah. All right, so, yeah, because things have changed. If they're essentially asking you to pay the bill, you know they're a feminist right away. They're not a traditionalist, all right? There's no such thing as a traditional female these days. They don't exist. Any woman that wants you to pay the bill is telling you, I'm better than you. You should pay for my time and my company because I'm so wonderful. Meanwhile, if you were to ask her to rub your feet later because you've paid for the dinner, oh, no, my company is enough. Yeah, right. Okay, sweetheart. So, yeah, that's a red flag. If you're expected to pay, get the fuck out, all right? Next, if the bitch expects you to open a door. Like, say you are going to a restaurant or you're going to a bar. By the way, I recommend you don't go to restaurants with chicks. I mean, it's a good way to find out if she's a feminist, if she expects you to pay the bill, but there's other ways to find out. You can ask her. A lot of times women will tell you. But say you go in someplace first, right? And you don't hold the door open for her, and then she gives you a look. Or she actually says something. Why didn't you open the door for me? Why didn't you hold the door for me? Oh, boy, that's a signal right there to get out. Because, you know, the days of chivalry are over. Women are equal. They make more money than men. They have a privileged position in society because they're the ones that stand around bitching and moaning about how oppressed they are. If they were really oppressed, they wouldn't be able to bitch and moan against the so-called oppressors. So, who are you? What, are you the Queen of England? Why do I look like a fucking doorman? I can tell you how many times I've gone out a door. And I just let it close on the broad behind me. And, you know, I've had times where she gives me like a look. I'm just curious. Sometimes I look back and it's like, she's like, or she's confused. Why didn't he hold the door open for me? I have a pussy. Yeah, so if you get any kind of reaction or nasty look, she's just sublimating her rage. Get out. Get out, okay? Same thing for pulling out a chair. What is this? I mean, what am I, your hand servant? Like, if you go to dinner and you pull your own chair out and you sit down and she's standing there, when you pull my chair out, bye. Look, you're under no obligation to be polite. Maybe if you're on one of these dating shows and you don't want to look like a total tool. But, I mean, honest to God, who would go on one of those anyway, right? Jesus Christ. Those are some thirsty fucking guys. They must be getting paid a lot of money, I think. I don't know. If it's free, you're a loser, okay? But don't stay around just to be polite. She's not polite. Why don't you pull my chair out? You evil toxic male, you. Bye. Don't feel awkward at all. Just say, you know what? Been fun. I'm not your lackey. Bye. And I would leave. I would leave. So if that happens, just get out. Get the fuck out, okay? This is one super entitled, narcissistic bitch. The whole world revolves around her. You need to pull her fucking chairs out, probably rub her feet, give her back rubs, and you ain't going to get anything in return, okay? All right. Next. You eat dinner, and you ask her to pay half the bill, and she has an issue with that. See, here's another way you know you're dealing with a feminist, right? Pay half the bill? I'm a woman. I'm supposed to be privileged and entitled and shit. Yeah, leave, okay? Get out. That's another red flag. That's Tiananmen Square. Flags are flying. Tanks are rolling. You're the little Chinese guy, 98 pounds soaking wet, and there's the tank coming at you. That's all the warning you need to get the hell out of there. Next. Expects you to buy her drinks. Don't you hate this? Buy me a drink. I remember one time I went to a bar, and this broad was like, yeah, I've been waiting here all night. Somebody buy me a drink. I said, so you're going to be waiting a lot longer, honey. I said exactly that, and I walked away. I was like, no way, bitch. You're not even that good looking. She was like maybe a... Yikes. Like maybe a 4. When you got 4s out there, expect the men to buy them drinks? Yeah. The world's gone to hell. So, another red flag. Oh, this one. Oh, boy. Oh, I've had that. You've had this, too. She's on her fucking cell phone during dinner. Oh, man. I mean, how rude. You're there. You're on a date with me to get to know me. You're there to talk to me. What kind of message does a woman send you when she talks on her cell phone or she texts on the phone when she's out on a date with you? She's sending you one of a number of different messages. One of them could be the case, or they all could be the case. First, doesn't give a fuck about you. 2, wants to let you know who's the boss right from the get-go. So, I know it's rude. I know it's inconsiderate to be on my phone, but I have the vagina. I'm the boss. So, you don't like it. Fuck off. Those are your choices, right? Neither of them's good. She's letting you know she's an inconsiderate, entitled individual, and you need to get the fuck out, okay? You go to the bathroom, and then you crawl out the window, or you sneak out the side door. Make sure you get a table, by the way, where her back is facing the door, or that has multiple exits, and that one of the exits is out of sight and near the bathrooms. So get the fucking table that's the furthest away from the bathroom and the nearest exit to that bathroom, all right? Trust me, you're probably going to need to use that exit. You don't want her to see you running out of there. I remember once, I went to a bar to meet some chick I hadn't met. Big mistake, by the way. Don't do that fucking online dating shit. It's a big waste. It's a big fucking scam. They always post a picture that's like fucking 10 years old or more. And I got there and I couldn't find her, and then she approached me because I looked exactly the way I did, right? Because men are much more honest. And, it's me! I was like, Jesus Christ, she was gigantic. And I was like, I was too polite to say anything. But when she went to the bathroom, I booked it out of there. I actually sprinted. I haven't run so fast since I was 18 in the fucking track team, man. Holy shit. Zoom, man. I was like the Flash. Yeah, run. Next. So another red flag is if she doesn't show interest in you, okay? So questions are really important. First thing as a man, you've got to remember to have some quiet. I know that a lot of guys, a lot of people, they don't like quiet. They're uncomfortable with it. But you got to stop asking her questions and showing too much interest. It shows a level of neediness, and that's not good. And it also doesn't tell you whether or not she's interested in you. So, ask a question, have a nice long pause, give her a chance to ask you a question, see if she back and forth with you, right? See if there's some kind of reciprocity in return in regards to interest, all right? See if she believes in quid pro quo, okay? So she needs to be asking you questions. Where are you from? What kind of hobbies? What do you enjoy? Music, blah, blah, blah. She should really be asking you a lot of questions. If she gives half a damn about you and isn't just biding her time until the date's over because she didn't like your car, how you look, or your job, or whatever, then she's going to show interest. But if she's just sitting there expecting you to ask all the questions, it doesn't necessarily mean she's not interested. It just could mean she's a cunt. All right? It could just mean she's a fucking cunt, okay? But either way, she's not interested or she's a cunt. Self-involved cunt. Get out! Again, bathroom, exit, run. Next. If she talks about her ex during the date, and if she's talking about her ex during the date, it's not to talk about good things, okay? Because she's there with you, and ostensibly she wants to have a good experience with you, so she's not going to start bringing up how wonderful her ex was, because if it was so wonderful, he wouldn't be her ex. So it's going to be to complain. That's a red flag, okay? Number one, because it's just bad judgment, right? I mean, you are essentially sharing your negative, bad relationship experiences with me on a first date. Couldn't that kind of, sort of give me a bad impression of you and, your judgment? Because you're already showing bad judgment by telling me about your ex and how horrible he was. I mean, if she's going on talking about what an asshole, he was such an asshole, he treated me like crap. You know what would be going through my mind? What's wrong with you that you would be going out with and dating a guy that treats you so badly? Now, of course, a broad like this won't be too hard to bang. Just treat her bad. She'll come back for more, but such an arrangement is usually more trouble than it's worth, and especially if you're a good person, and you got to go through. I mean, when you're young, it's fine. You got all that energy, right? But I'm just like, 5 decades at the time. I'm too old. Too many games. I'm not interested. It depends on your age, okay? If you're a guy in your 20s, go to town, be a jerk, or pretend to be something you're not just to get the poon. Right. Wonderful. But, she got problems. She got problems. This is not relationship material. This is booty call material, okay? So if you're looking for something serious, if you're looking for something long-term, meaningful, get out. But chicks that date guys that treat them like crap, perfect. It's not hard to treat a chick like crap, right? She likes it, wonderful. But she's not going to be anything more than, late Saturday night, can't find anybody else, call her up. Deal, right? So, next one. Talks about how she wants to meet a nice guy. Right. Again, this is kind of on par with the last one. What is it exactly? Again, if some broad's telling me that, I'm 28, 29 years old, I haven't met a nice guy. I can't meet a nice guy. Really? It's like everywhere. What she's really saying is that I can't recognize a nice guy because I have no virtues. I don't bring anything to the table, and since I have no virtues, I don't really know what virtues are. I can't recognize them. Even if I was an empathetic person, which I'm not, I would actually have to have some idea to use that as an ingredient in my empathy to kind of connect with somebody else. I can't really connect. I can't really find these guys that have these qualities because I'm lacking in qualities myself. So if she starts talking about, I can't meet a nice guy, that's because you're not a nice person, right? She can't find him. Where's Waldo? I don't know where Waldo is. He's right there, bitch. I wouldn't wear my glasses. Well, in terms of women who can't meet nice guys, their lack of glasses is a lack of virtue. So they're saying much more about themselves than they are about men. That they have no virtue. So they can't see it in other people. So They can't identify a nice guy when they see one. Plus the fact, they got very low self-esteem. They want validation. The bad boy gives it to them. There are all sorts of issues going on there. You're best to pass on chicks like that. Next, say she's a feminist. Of course, this one's pretty easy, right? Although most women are smart enough now to realize that the jig is up, right? I mean, except for a bunch of soy boy wimps out there, the majority of women know how the majority of real men view feminism. Of course, you've got your soy boy wimps out there who pretend to be male feminists so they can get some poon, right? Because they can't compete on a level playing field with real men. But the truth of the matter is, those pussies raised by single mommies who have Stockholm Syndrome. But the truth of the matter is, most women know that the jig is up, that the majority of guys realize feminism is just female superiority. So they'll hide it. No, I'm not a feminist. Yeah, she's breathing. She's probably a feminist. The question is to what degree, right? So, but you've definitely got to ask her, because if she actually comes out and says, yes, I'm a feminist, whoa, talk about lacking in self-knowledge, self-awareness, or what's going on in the world, has no grasp of reality whatsoever, you need to run, because she's probably way to the left. Okay? Of course, if you like the left, if you're on the left, you probably wouldn't be listening to this show anyway. But if you are, maybe she's the perfect lady for you, right? You get to have a dominant, submissive relationship. She can whip you. She can tie you up, use a cat of nine tails on you. You're a big pussy. You like to be dominated by women. She's the perfect choice. But otherwise, you should probably run. Because any woman that actually says she's a feminist, oh, man, get out. Next, she's fat. That's a non-starter, of course. You see a fat broad, goodbye. Believes in that body positivity bullshit. Oh, my God. You need to run again. So, next. All right. Curses a lot. Okay. No grace. No grace at all. Although you could say I have no grace. But I'm a guy. I'm not supposed to have grace. I'm supposed to be abrasive and rough. Okay? So fuck off if you don't like the fact that I curse. But, yeah, she acts like a guy. Yeah, you ever meet women like that? Act like fucking guys. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Excuse me. That was disgusting. I know, but at least you didn't see it. Ugh. I have a cold, I told you. All right. So, yeah, women that curse a lot. It's like a drunken sailor. Nah. I don't like that. I mean, you should be somewhat well-spoken, right? I just don't like that. Women that essentially try to be these gross caricatures of men because, I'm doing a show here, kind of comedic in nature and content, a mix of philosophy, critical thinking, and, some comedy thrown in. So, of course, I'm cursing a lot, right? But, in a serious situation, on a date, I wouldn't be really cursing all that much, if at all. Depends on the situation. So it's kind of out of place. You want to put your best foot forward. But if your best foot forward is, goddamn motherfucker brought me the wrong motherfucking wine. Fuck. She's very coarse and unrefined. Bye-bye. And, of course, if you like that, a broad that acts like a man, more power to you. Of course, maybe you should be with a man, That might be more for you. But anyway, that for me is a red flag. Yeah. All right, next. Broad that doesn't talk much. Yeah. This to me is just a red flag. Social retardedness, social ineptitude, or just a total lack of interest in other human beings. It's like, what do you want to date with me to begin with? You're just looking for somebody to buy. I mean, usually a woman that goes out with a guy and doesn't interact with him is just looking to get a free meal or some shit, or to stroke her own ego. I wonder how much shit I can get him to put up with. Ooh, some man took me out on a date. We went for drinks. I didn't talk to him, and he took me to dinner, too. And a show or a movie. Ooh, I must be hot. I mean, somebody like that's got problems, okay? And don't say, well, maybe she's shy. What, are you kidding? Grown woman shy? Can't even talk to you? You got issues then. What want with that? Well, what am I, Dr. Phil? I'm going to fix you? No, that's somebody that's broken, has issues, there's fucking with you to get some free drinks and shit. Nah, fuck off. All right? You have no interest in me, I have no interest in you. You got to be one thirsty motherfucker to hang around with somebody who doesn't talk to you very much, when that's the whole point of being there. All right, next. Tells you how much her last boyfriend spent on her. Oh, I've had this happen. Woo! He spent gads of money on me. Essentially, what she's doing when she tells you this is that she expects you to do the same. Next. That's a game ender right there. So the next one. She has a crap job, but a $2,000 handbag. Or no job, and the same $2,000 handbag. What might this be saying about her? Could it be saying that she's a gold digger and perhaps the crappy job she's telling you about isn't real? Or she says she's got some kind of great job to pay for all this stuff, but she's a moron, and so, yeah, she might have a sugar daddy, okay? And she might be expecting you to be her next sugar daddy, okay? Yeah, I mean, you're talking to a dumb broad, right? Really dumb, but she's walking around with thousands of dollars in accoutrements, and, you know, she's a secretary. Yeah. I mean, I guess she could be like that girl in the green scarf, right? That movie from so long ago with the airhead broad who spent all that money using her fucking credit cards. And she dressed all nice and fancy, but she had a crappy job. I suppose that's possible. But then you've got the problem of all that fucking debt. No. Either a woman that can't live in her means or she's a whore. Move on. So next red flag. Now this red flag, of course, I don't guess I need to tell you, but maybe some of you I do. Has kids and ain't a widow. Single mom alert! Single mom alert! They should have that on those little dating apps, right? Like you're flipping, and you come to this woman, and then this red flashing and a voice that says, "Single mom alert! Single mom alert!" Now, of course, if you want to date a single mom, sure, go right ahead. They're easy to lay. They're not hard to get into bed, right? The only problem is that because they've done it once, they're more likely to do it again, right? Now, of course, I suppose any woman could be such a whore, such a gold digger, such a lazy cunt that, you know, she's looking to get pregnant by some guy so she can get child support from him. But, you know, with much more accuracy, that this woman is definitely one of those, while the others, you can't be sure. So you want to avoid single mothers. I mean, there's other reasons, obviously. You don't want to pay for her fucking kid. You don't want to be taking care of somebody else's bastard, okay? I mean, anybody that does that's a fool. Total fool. So, next. I mean, that's one of the bigger red flags, right? Yeah, that's a whole video in and of itself. Divorced at a young age. Yeah, I mean, if you're going out with some chick, she's 24. My ex-husband was an Air Force pilot. Ex-husband? How old are you? I mean, that's just like a number of red flags. Bad judgment, right? You know, really, really bad fucking judgment. Damaged goods, because now she's divorced, so she's got a problem with men. If she didn't already have a problem with men, which she probably did because she's divorced. God. Yeah, you meet some divorced women are damaged goods, okay, guys? You probably want to avoid divorced women. They usually have issues with men because, you know, nothing's ever their fault, right? So, yeah, if you find out some broad's divorced, kids or no, you probably want to steer clear. And next, kind of on par with the last one, related anyway, talks about how she hates men. Men are dogs, toxic masculinity, etc. So if any of these come up, like male tears, I bathe in male tears, men are dogs, I hate men are toxic, well, boy, that shows a extraordinary lack of self-awareness because I'm a man and you're out with me and you think it's okay to say these things. So you have problems, and you're a feminist, because any woman that says any of these things is a feminist. You want to avoid feminists. You want to avoid mean, nasty, angry, bitchy ones, especially who'd say stuff like this, which is most of them. Next. Excuse me. Hates Donald Trump and can't give legitimate reasons except for he said, "Grab him by the pussy! You want that man as president? He likes to grab women by pussies." So do I. Consensually, of course, but I don't know any man that doesn't like to grab pussies. Do you? Oh, God. So Trump derangement syndrome is a clear sign that you're dealing with the leftist, socialist, Marxist, communist, feminist, intersectional cunt run for the door, okay? Next. I mean, of course, unless you like that, right? Unless you're a thirsty pussy and you can't do no better. If you think that way, you probably can. Next. Likes the idea of open borders. This not only means that she's very likely a feminist, a communist, a socialist. It also means she's dumb. Right? I mean, if somebody likes open borders, they're a moron because they don't understand all the consequences of having open borders. Yeah, come on in, Hans. Raid and pillage us. Idiot. All right. But I guess it depends. If you're also a socialist nut job, then she's the girl for you. Next, already has a lot of cats. So if you go out on a date with some 28-year-old broad, and then you go back to her place, and the door opens, and immediately some furry little animal runs past your leg, you're dealing with a woman who is such an objectionable human being that she needs cats to keep her company because no man will. Okay? And she seemed okay on the first date. She's been hiding the real her from you. Women that have lots of cats, I mean, that's a red flag, baby. She started working on it early, okay? She started working on her isolation early. Yeah, she started working on becoming the old cat lady well before she's old. But a cat lady nonetheless. Now, she just has one cat. Maybe that, but I don't know. Even one cat, I'd be like, why do you have a cat? You can't meet a man? You don't like people? I don't know. That makes me suspicious. But if it's multiple cats, yeah. Get out. Of course, she's an old lady. What the hell are you doing there in the first place? Do you want to date an old lady? All right. Next. Now, this one, you might say I'm horrible. Realist philosopher, you're so evil. Yes, I am. What else do you think I am? I'll agree with all of it. I don't give a fuck what you call me. So, if you meet some chick who's been abused as a child, be it sexually or physically, had a horrible childhood, you need to run. Run like the wind! Or if you're a fat guy, steal somebody's bike and ride the fuck off as quick as you can. Trust me, the fucking charge for the bike stealing will be less than the hell you'd go through being with her. Oh, my God. Okay, listen. I know what you're thinking. Realist philosopher, it's not her fault if she got banged in the tuchus by her daddy. You're right. You're right. It's not her fault. It's not my fault either. And I shouldn't consign myself to a lifetime of hell dealing with this broken creature and trying to fix her. Again, I'm not Dr. Phil or any of these other wussy, fake doctors, psychologists. Give me a break. Fucking pseudoscience. So if these broads have been through any kind of abuse, they're damaged goods. That's just reality. I mean, if you go buy a car and it's falling apart, it only has two wheels, no engine, do you buy it? I can't do anything with that. I didn't break it. I didn't steal the engine. I didn't scavenge that fucker for parts and make it near useless. It's not my fault. I'm still obligated to buy it? No, get the fuck out of there. Buyer beware. Next. Talks all night about her problems, her feelings, but doesn't show any interest in yours. And then, at the end of the night, doesn't have sex with you. You know what that makes you? Emotional tampon man. And she probably has other guys as well who are emotional tampons. You are somebody she wants to friend zone, baby, and use to get some free meals. Get out. Women ain't very good at dealing with their own problems. They come to men and go see male therapists, okay? So she's looking for a shrink, okay? She's looking for a shoulder to cry on, somebody to help her with their logic, reason, critical thinking, because she has none. So, yeah, get out. Next. And by the way, don't try to call in. I'll tell you when I open the phone lines. These kind of shows, I open the phone lines when I'm done. Some, I open them immediately, and I'll tell you when. All right? So, next. More than 3 dates and no sex. This is a game ender. I mean, if they sleep with you on the first date, okay, good. Second, third date, yeah, okay. But no sex after the third date, bye-bye. We're not in June Cleaverland anymore. It's not the 50s. The world has changed. And by the way, women wanted to be liberated. Liberated from what? I don't know. When women say women have been liberated, that implies that they were somehow in slavery before, which is a lie. So I don't use that term, women are liberated, or I will, but only in reference to the nonsense that they say. So women claim that they're now liberated and free, and they want to be just like men and free to be just like men and explore their sexuality. Don't tell me that and then try to act like June Cleaver and you're only going to give it up after marriage. Get the fuck out of here. You go out with this broad in 3 dates and she don't put out. You get out. Next. Women asking you to give them a ride somewhere. Hit the bricks, bitch. If a woman's constantly asking you to give her a ride somewhere, she's just looking for a servant. You mean nothing to her. She's not considerate of your time in any way, shape, or form. She's just looking for some dude to drive her around like she's a fucking princess. Bye-bye, honey. That's a red flag right there. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a wuss. Do not chauffeur a woman around. I don't give a fuck if she was the Queen of England, okay? By the way, who'd want to hit that old rag? Jesus Christ, what is she, 98 now, 100? All right, next. She asks if you want to get married someday on the first date or even within the first month. This is very important, okay? People don't pay attention to these little red flags, but they're signs of dysfunction. They're not normal. I don't know you. What the fuck you asking me if I'm going to get married for? And when a woman asks you if you want to get married, what she's really asking is, do you want to get married to me? Just met you, bitch. Slow your roll. That's a big red flag. You need to get out. Get out. Bathroom window or the assigned exit with her back to the door, ostensibly. All right. So, next. This one I think is very important. Takes forever for her to call you back or text you back. You ever done this? You ever had this happen, by the way? You go out on a date with some broad and then you send her a text and say, hi, how you doing today? And like 8 hours later, you get a reply. What the fuck? Now, you know these bitches. They got their phones on them all the time. They're looking at that motherfucker. They're there typing away, doing their little busy work, trying to convince people they're actually doing something to earn a salary while the men are actually doing the real work. You know, she's grabbing that phone every 5 minutes, right? And she has a lunch break. And you know that she's playing her little fucking Candy Crunch bullshit or whatever the hell she plays. All right, on that fucking phone. So she sees your message. And if it's the weekend, there's no excuse. She can't say I was eating lunch for 8 hours. I was out with my mother for 8 hours? Come on. No. That's bullshit, okay? A woman that doesn't text you back or call you back within 8 hours or even 4 hours, she's fucking with you. She's saying, I'm the boss, I'll get back to you when I want to. Okay, she got clear control issues. I just don't like these kind of games, okay? Now, you want to play these kind of games, be my guest, all right? But a woman that does that kind of shit, I just delete her. And then she eventually tries to contact you and she's blocked. It's great. Oh, I can imagine the look on her face when she can't get back to you. That's fucking gold. That memory is gold. Imagine what her face must be like or when she tries to fucking email you or some shit. It's beautiful. Why did you block me? I'm a special princess. You can't ignore me. All right, so next. This one, this is, for me, a game ender. Lateness. Now, I know. Some of you might be saying, really, Spinash, for your kind of a stickler. What do you want? She has a job. So, she can be on time to her job. If she's not on time to her job, she gets fired. So she could be on time to her job, but to go out with me, she's late. I'm not important enough to be on time? I run into this shit so fucking often. It's always the same. The woman wants to control. She wants to see who's the boss. I'll tell you who's the boss. You're looking at him. Well, you're looking at his back as you're trying to run there to catch him because he's getting the fuck out of there because you were late. This shows a lack of consideration, okay? Even if you haven't known this woman long enough to earn her respect, she should at least have enough consideration to be on time. And if she's going to be late, to call you and let you know. But she's got to have a good excuse for being late. I want to know why. Like if her boss kept her over, I would want to know. But she would have to send me a message or something. But if she's just late because I lose track of time, I had to shower. Bitch, you knew what time the date was. How long does the shower take? That's all bullshit, right? It needs to be a good reason, and they definitely need to contact you beforehand. And if they don't do either, you get the hell out of there. Next, if she's nothing but a pretty face and no virtues. If you're sitting with a woman, she's apparently concerned only about her appearance. There's no substance to this woman. That in and of itself is a red flag. I mean, again, if all you care about is hitting that and quitting that, I guess doesn't matter. I personally care about virtue, but at my age, I need a lot to get motivated to deal with these broads. So, she better be real virtuous. But yeah, if there's no substance to a woman, not interested. And again, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a roll in the hay, who gives a fuck? But if you're looking for something more important, no virtue means no interest from me. And of course, that would depend on you and what you're looking for, right? Next, a woman that blames everybody else for her problems and issues, but she doesn't take responsibility. I know what you're thinking. That's all women. Yeah. Oh, my. Ooh. That's pretty much all women. There's needles in haystacks, but there are not too many women that take responsibility for their mistakes. What can I tell you? Not much more to say about that one. All right. Next. Too sensitive. Now, we've all met somebody like this, right? They're usually an intersectional feminist, trained to be offended. So if a woman's easily hurt, easily offended, quick to play the victim, has a victim mentality, that's an alarm bell. You should be getting out, formulating your escape plan, right? If you just say things that are totally, innocuous and she gets offended, and it happens multiple times. Oh, did you call that waitress sweetie? Oh, my. She's not a sweetie. She's a person. It's like, what are you talking about? It's a term of endearment. Yeah, get out. I mean, if that just happens once, right? You know what kind of woman you're dealing with if that happens. A feminist. That's a feminist, okay? Good Lord. All right, I can see again. Got some crap on the glasses here from hacking up a lung. All right, next. Let's say you're going out on a date with some broad you met online, okay, or on Tinder. And first of all, that's automatic disqualifier for anything serious. Any broad that's using Tinder, she's just a gold digger. She's just a gold digger. She can't be bothered to put any time or effort. I'm too wonderful. I'm too special. I'm too high a value commodity. I don't have to put the time and effort in. I'm just going to flip, because men, to me, men are just objects. So that she's using Tinder, she's only good for a booty call anyway, right? That's number one. And that applies to most of these dating sites as well. Of course, if a woman signs up for a dating site, at least she's putting in a little more time, a little more effort. She's writing up a profile. She's downloading a picture that's 15 years old now because now she's a big fat blob. She's putting some time, putting some effort, putting some care into it. So that's a little different. But if you meet some broad online, right, and she asks about your height, bye. Don't even meet her. It's irrelevant. Come on. Get the fuck out of here, my height. Just don't even deal with her. I'm not a short guy. I'm average, 5'11", but what do you ask me about my height for? Fuck off. Fuck off. If a woman's concerned about that, everything else she's concerned about is as shallow and facile as that. And you don't want to have anything to do with her because she's telling you by what she's interested in that she's not somebody of substance, because the things she's interested in you, they're not substance. They're not substantial in any way. All right? Next. This one's interesting, and I've had this happen before. If she asks you how many women you've slept with, especially on the first date, but how the hell's that your business? So you're dealing with a crazy, wacky, jealous, insecure broad, okay? Wants to see how she measures up, wants to learn more about the broads that you've dated in the past. Some loose screws up there, baby. Bats in the belfry. If a woman asks you how many women you've slept with, you run. You don't go out with a woman like that, okay? That's a big red flag, okay? Women that ask you how many women you have actually slept with, number one, okay, they're trying to feel out the type of women that you're interested in because they'll ask what they were like and such. And number two, she's kind of telling you that she slept with a lot of people. She wants to do some comparing. Am I a bigger whore than this guy? Get out. Get out! Next. Now, this one's kind of if you're already in kind of a relationship, but this is a big red flag. And if you're in a relationship with a woman and this happens, you run. Get out. So if a woman expects gifts but never gives them, narcissist, only cares about herself, entitled, you need to get out. Like if it's your birthday and she don't get you a gift, but when it's her birthday, she expects a gift. Or Valentine's Day, she didn't get you anything, but she expects 2,000 roses. Fuck off. Again, we're not in June Cleveland anymore. You're equal, right? Next. Again, this is kind of if you're already in a relationship. If a woman withholds sex from you at any time, just as a way to get back at you or to get what she wants, you get out, okay? Get the fuck out. No real man would tolerate this. And similar to the height. Again, and if a woman asks about your weight, and I've had this happen actually. I've had women ask me about my weight. I was like, they would be like, how much do you weigh? You know what I said? How much do you weigh? And these women would get upset. What are you asking me how much I weigh for? Bitch, you just asked me the same question. Get out. Do what I say, but don't do what I do. Don't ask me about my weight, but answer my questions about your weight. Yeah. Women that have double standards like that are feminists, okay? Feminists are big believers in double standards. Now, this one is kind of like you're going to have to ask her a question or questions. And just kind of do it innocently, out of the blue. But ask her these questions. Does she believe in patriarchy, the wage gap, or oppression of women in the West? If she answers yes to any of them, time to leave. Bathroom, window, door, run. Next. Has a degree in gender studies, race studies, or social work. Okay? Sorry. Can't help it. I'm sick, remember? And again, if you're trying to call in, do not call in. I haven't opened the phone lines yet. I will. So, First of all, if you have a degree in social studies, you're a communist, okay? There's no such thing as social sciences. They were made up by communists to socially deconstruct, reconstruct Western society. It's just a bunch of communist mumbo-jumbo. Oppressor. So, you know, how can I best redistribute the wealth of the rich and give it to the poor in the form of welfare? Get the fuck out of here, all right? If she studied social sciences, social studies, she's a communist. Same goes for race studies and gender studies, okay? Get out. Useless degrees of that nature, run. Or if she has a liberal arts degree, that's pretty equivalent to these liberal arts. What is that? Liberal! Your first word that should clue you into the fact that she's not somebody you want to be with. Unless you yourself are a liberal, then you can raise your kids to be non-binary. Next, wears either a Che Guevara t-shirt, hammer and sickle, or both, because I've seen some Che Guevara t-shirts with Che's face over a hammer and sickle, or she wears a hammer and sickle of any kind. I've seen broads with hammer and sickle earrings. Hammer and sickle tattoos. Oh, God. Or hammer and sickle necklace. Anything that says anything about communism. And ask her if she likes communism or socialism. If you get an earful about how great they are, run! Next. Expects men to be gentlemen, but ladies don't need to be ladies, and she doesn't even know what being a lady would mean. Run. Again, these are kind of red flags that are going to pop up. You have to ask these questions. All right? Do you believe a man should be a gentleman and a lady should be a lady? I mean, if she says yes to the first one but no to the second, she doesn't believe in reciprocity, she's a taker, wants a giver, is a socialist, run. Next, drinks a lot. Now, I'm sorry, but I don't want to date some sloppy drunk, okay? First of all, if she's a sloppy drunk, she's going to be prematurely aged, okay? So she'll be 25 looking like she's 35 or 40. That's problem number one, okay? Number two, she's going to be a loose broad, which means she's going to be really loose, if you know what I mean. Lots of cocks, lots of big cocks, little cocks, whatever, stretching things out down there. Doesn't appeal to me. More likely to have STDs, more likely to be a hoe, bad judgment, poor coping skills, probably has some kind of abusive past because if she didn't, she wouldn't have to self-medicate so much. So, no. Also, there's the chance she could be Me Too'd because, you know, if she gets drunk and has sex with you and she regrets it after, she could say you raped her, even though you might both be equally drunk. I always found that very interesting that if a woman sleeps with a man and he's drunk and she's not, he can't say I didn't consent. You're guilty of rape, but it doesn't go both ways. I never understood that. But we live in a patriarchy. Yeah, all right. Next. Asks what you think of polyamory. This is very important because a woman is not going to ask you what you think about polyamory. Polyamory being having sexual relationships where you're committed to one person, but you've agreed to have sex outside the relationship or bring other people into your relationship and then you'll have sex with them together, which, you know, I don't know how that works because if you're in a committed relationship, you wouldn't be sleeping with other people. It's a leftist idea, though, so of course it can't make sense. If she's asking you that, it means she wants to do it, okay? People don't ask questions like that to feel you out about things they don't want to do. So if she asks you what your interest is, run, because she's into it. I mean, unless you like that kind of thing. If you're an orgy guy, oh, yeah! But, yeah, I'm not too into orgies, so I'm going to pass. That's a huge red flag to me. Inability to commit, inability to be in a serious relationship, lots of issues, lots of problems, broken person, lots of baggage. No. Damaged goods big time. I don't want to be anywhere near a woman like that. Next. Says she wants kid before X age. Okay, so if you're dating some broad and she's like 28 and she says she wants to have kids by the age of 30, run. Run away fast because what she's telling you is that if you get into a serious relationship with her, You must have kids with her before this date. Talk about pressure. Holy shit, talk about a time crunch. Very little time to get to know each other, right? She's in a rush. She's in a hurry. You can't really enjoy your time together, right? Fuck that. What is that? It's too artificial, right? Too much pressure. Nah, I'm not interested. Not interested, honey. It's like she's trying to meet some kind of deadline. How could you enjoy that? What kind of relationship would that be like? It'd be like you were just going through the motions to meet some kind of arbitrary goal that she set that really isn't necessarily your goal. No, thank you. Not too much that's organic about that, right? Very forced, very artificial. No. You should have thought about that earlier, honey, before you got to age 28, riding the cock carousel for the past 10 years, huh? Maybe you should look for a quality man beforehand. But, of course, she's not a quality woman, so, you know. Yeah. Next. If she's a woman that says that men objectify women, that means that she doesn't believe that women objectify men. Run. You see, what this means is that women have a sort of mythical, unrealistic view of other women, and she has a unrealistic view of herself. When a woman says that men objectify women, what she's really saying is men are inferior to women because women don't do that. Because if women did that, I wouldn't be making a point of saying that men objectify women. Because if women objectified men, why would I be bringing it up as if only men did? Because you're saying that is you implying that only men do that. Which makes it some big problem. Because if both sexes objectified each other, what the fuck would you be bringing it up for as some big problem, right? No. And she's a feminist. Again, that's a clear sign that a woman's a feminist. Run. Run fast. Bathroom, window, door, get out. She pays the bill. Next. This one's telling. If a woman asks what type of women you're into, could you be any more clear in telling me that you're very insecure? If a woman asks you, so, what kind of women do you like? Chameleon, run, actress, run. What she's essentially doing is wanting to find out what you like so that she can then pretend to be that. Don't be a sucker and fall for that one. Okay? Because she's decided she wants to get into your wallet, into your life, suck you dry. So she wants to be as big a phony as possible to maximize the chances that she can get into your wallet. Because she has no virtues, no qualities that would attract the man. So instead, she's got to pretend to be what he wants most. And like you, being a dummy like you are, you're telling her exactly what she needs to portray to you to hook you. Don't do it. Don't tell a woman what you like most in a woman. Just run. I got to take a piss. And then crawl out the window, run out the door, yada, yada. Almost done. Next. Women that are coarse and act like what they think men would act like. Like, for example, if a woman tells you got a nice ass or slaps you on the ass, you need to run. I remember one time I met some broad in the bar, and we were talking it up, and then I was in the hallway waiting to use the bathroom, a small bathroom, and she walked by and smacked me on the ass. It's like, what the fuck? This is new. Then I smacked her back on her ass, and she was like, hey, I didn't give you permission. Now, she was shit-testing me, of course, right? And I said, I didn't give you permission either. And then she got this smile on her face. He's not a total pussy. Yeah, I banged her that night. But I didn't see her again. She was a cunt. Total cunt. Entitled feminist cunt. Nasty broad. Not a very good lay either. But regardless, yeah. Women that act like that, steer clear, okay? There's nothing there at all of any value. Next, she's got a lot of student loan debt. Woman has a lot of student loan debt. You can't have a serious relationship with her because eventually she's going to expect you to pay the bills. And, you know, women, they're just going to defer. She went to college to get some useless degree, and she still ain't paid it off 8 years later, and the fucking interest is just accruing. She's just waiting to marry some man, and then he can pay it off. Meanwhile, she got 25% interest on this fucker. God. If you have a serious relationship with this chick, you're going to have to pay her debts. No. I mean, she sees you as nothing more than a workhorse, a human wallet. She doesn't really see you as a human being, nor does she care very much about who you are as a person or your virtues. She just wants your money. Run. And finally, raised by a single mother. Excuse me. This one's kind of important, okay? Because no matter what she might portray to you, if she tells you she was raised by a single mother. Now, this doesn't necessarily apply if she's a widow, right? So, she never knew her father, or her father left when she was young. She only has bad things to say about her father, and she was raised by a single mother. You need to get out of there. You might think you're seeing some great woman. Maybe she's portraying to you what looks like a good broad, but she ain't good. She ain't good, okay? Just like it's almost impossible to find a Western woman that's not a feminist because they've all been indoctrinated. It's almost impossible to find a woman that isn't fucked up by being raised by a single mother, okay? And if she's telling you how bad her daddy is, you can rest assured she'll say the same things about you if you get into a relationship with her, okay? There's a lot of transference that goes on there, okay? Which is why she's fucking single, all right? So, yeah. But realist philosopher is not her fault. Again, I'm not Dr. Phil. It's not my job to cure the world, okay? It's not my job to give free therapy and be an emotional tampon and to help these women out, all right? I didn't break them. It's not my responsibility to fix them, okay? So she's been raised by a single mother. That's an automatic disqualifier in my mind. Sorry. Sorry, ladies. That's not fair of me. I'm not fair. I'm not compassionate. I'm not empathic enough. What do you want? It's my life. And I don't want to complicate it with your shit. Sue me. Good luck with that. All right. So that's it for my list of the red flags that you want to look for and avoid in a woman. I'm going to open the phone lines now. It's already been an hour. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, that took a lot longer than I thought. Oh, my. Where the hell is Skype? There's Skype. Okay. Yeah. That was an exhaustive list. Yeah. So, any of you out there have some red flags you think I missed? I'll leave the phone lines open here for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll log off. But did I miss any? I probably did. If I'd had a little more time to think about these, I'm sure I could have come up with some more. But I only had about an hour. Again, I'm a busy guy. What do you want? Real life calls, huh? I wish I could spend all my time making content, but that's not reality. So feel free to call in at 623-242-2517. You can also use Skype and contact The Realist Philosopher. That's my Skype name, The Realist Philosopher, no spaces. Also, I'm on Gab now. Yeah. I don't have the address in the link in the description now, but I'm going to put it there later. Yeah, I signed up for Gab for a while there. For those of you who don't know what Gab is, it's a new platform that is supposed to be dedicated entirely to free speech. I wonder how long that'll last. They'll probably become just like Twitter in about 10 years and also censor people. But for now, it's all about free speech. You can say whatever you want. It's kind of like Twitter and Facebook, but better because they don't censor you, or so they say. But, yeah, I thought that they were only taking people who got referred and didn't have open membership. But now they have open membership, so anybody can join. So I signed up for that. So I'll put that link in later. So I'm on Gab as The Realist Philosopher. If you want to go there yourself and sign up. Disgusting. And Twitter, Facebook, Gab. I'm on Instagram as well. All those links are in the description. So, let me see if anybody tried to contact me while I was... Nope. Boy, oh boy. You'd think some of you would have some interesting red flag experiences of your own. But, I didn't ask, did I? But have you had any of those type of experiences? If you went out on a date and had a similar experience, had a red flag of the type that I was just talking about pop up, have you had a different type of red flag that you think I missed, but you think should be added to the list? Please call in using Skype or your phone. If you're in the United States, that's a U.S. number. So as I understand it, if you have a cell phone plan, usually most of them have free calls within the continental United States. So if you'd like to call in with your red flag experience, please do. It's looking like nobody will call in. It's looking like... Jesus. Fuck me. Wow. Not good. I'm not as sick as it looks, but it's always the same when I get sick. Always itching, scratching in my throat. Then it gets worse, and then it gets a little better, but spreads to my head. And I always get a head cold. Always. I don't know what that's about. I guess it's better than, like, getting malaria or some shit. Obviously. Could be worse, right? Oh, my. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy. And I suggest that some of you out there who are long-time followers of mine call in. I got a lot of long-time supporters. Wow. Really? Nobody out there has phones? Nobody'd like to call in and talk to me about well, maybe you didn't have any red flag experiences. I don't know. I guess not. But, yeah, that list, it didn't even take me an hour, really. Again, I've had a lot of experience, and, yeah, but I'm sure I could have added more. But, yeah. So you follow that list, and two things will happen. You will find a decent woman, or even better, you'll get to be alone and not have to deal with any of these bitchy women, which might be better. Excuse me, because honestly, I'm not so sure there are any good women left. They exist. I've met some decent broads, but the problem is there's not that many, and even when they're decent, they've still got some broken bits from the evil ideology that's feminism. Basically, there's a lot more good men out there than there are women. Women just lack the virtue to be able to see, identify these good men, and the things that they identify as good, they're not virtues. All right, and I talked about this in one of my older shows. I suggest you go and check out, not that old, from last week, my live stream about virtue and why it's so important. All right, doesn't look like anybody's going to call in, so I guess that's it. If you like the content, please like this live stream by clicking on the little thumbs up thing. Subscribe to this channel, and also, in case anything ever happened to this channel, you can follow me on SoundCloud, where I'm going to start posting this soon with all my old podcasts. So you'll find a link to SoundCloud. So in case anything happened to this, you can follow me there. You won't lose touch with me or my content. I post a lot on Twitter, a lot on Facebook. You can find me there. Not too much on Instagram. And again, if you like the content, if you like the truth that I tell, if you like the truth saying you're getting from me, then please consider donating to my channel. I mean, I could really use your guys' help, okay? Providing a service here. It's completely free of charge. It's up to you, of course, if you want to donate. But I could really, really use your support. And there's two ways you can support me, either per podcast or that I post on Patreon, or per month. Again, all those options are at therealistphilosopher.com/donate. And that's it. You're also free to email me. And this is really the best way to be on the show because I really like helping people with their problems, work through their issues, using philosophy, excellent tool. So if you'd like to get a philosopher's take on any issues you might be having, any misunderstandings you might be having with some aspect of your life, relationship difficulties, work, business, entrepreneurial endeavors, please feel free to contact me at my email at admin@therealistphilosopher.com. You can see it right up there in the corner. That's admin@therealistphilosopher.com. You send me an email, tell me what you want to talk about, and I'll contact you on Skype and have you on the show. Helps you and helps a lot of people who are listening. So great experience if you have something you need to work through, I think. And that's it. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you a good day. Take care.